What is up guys, and welcome to a new series where I use money making guides from the OSRS Wiki. If you guys enjoy this idea, I'll definitely make more and try to run through every single one of these on the list, no matter how ridiculous they might be. I'll be trying and testing out these money makers to see how accurate they are so you don't have to. Let's get into the video. What is going on guys, and welcome to the first video of the new year. Now for this video we have a suggestion from one of you guys, and it is to mine ruin rocks, and they suggest to use the Prifddinas spot because it is the best spot. So we'll go ahead and try that out and see how good it actually is. Since we will be mining the ruin rocks in Prifddinas, you will have to have completed the quest Song of the Elves in order to have access to the city of Prifddinas. Now since we are using the mine in Prifddinas, we will be making more than what the wiki says here, because I'm pretty sure they don't account for you mining there. I think the most used place to mine ruin ore is most likely in the wilderness or at a few other spots where there's like maybe one rock that you have to just keep hopping worlds for. So we should be making more money. And before I even started this, I visited the place to see what the competition was like, and there actually was a good amount of people there using crystal tools. So I decided to buy my own crystal tool seed, and surprisingly it's not that expensive. I mean, when these things first came out they were worth, you know, a good amount of money, a couple mils, but now they're around 300k, so I definitely decided that it was worth it to do it, just in case we had to fight against other people for control of the ruin rocks. So in order to make the crystal pickaxe, you need the crystal tool seed and your dragon pickaxe, and then you bring it over here to the singing bowl. You will also need 120 crystal shards to actually make the crystal pickaxe, so make sure you bring those as well. And once you make it, I do believe that the process is reversible, but you won't get any of the charges back, which unfortunately sucks, but that's just the way it is. And honestly, it's cool to have this tool. You know, it's the best one that you can possibly get, but I kind of miss my dragon pickaxe already. I don't know, there was just something about that red tool that just looked real cool. Now this pickaxe does have 10,000 charges before it becomes inactive, and at that point you will need to add more crystal shards to enchant it once again, or imbue it once again, whatever you want to call it. And if you decide not to go that route, you can easily just dismantle it and get your dragon pickaxe, as well as the crystal tool seed back. Now I'll be showing you how to get to the mine, and of course as you saw here I had to just catch another crystal impling before heading over there. They really seem to spawn quite often around this place, so whenever I see one I just have to go for it. They have some pretty good loot. But yeah, so you'll run east from where you spawn. I usually take the Prifddinas teleport straight over here and then run east, and you take this little cave entrance right here, and this will be the mine where we will be mining the ruin rocks. It's right next to Volcano, so that's a good reference point. And here are the ruin rocks. There are 4 ruin rocks in this mine. There's one right here and there's one over here further north. These are pretty close together, and usually when people are competing for rocks, it seems like a bunch of them only focus on 2 at a time. So it's either the 2 that are north or the 2 that are south. But for this 1 hour, I'll be doing all 4 if they are available. And the cool thing about this place is that there is kind of a bank deposit box. It's more of a minecart system, but it works as a bank deposit box. So you come over here, you hit deposit, and you can put your ores in here when you have a full inventory. So you never have to leave to go bank, which is pretty cool. Now that you know how to get here, I will go over the inventory that I used during this 1 hour. Basically, I am bringing my prospector's gear that I got from Motherlode Mine. The only exception being the chest plate. I'm bringing the Varrock diary armor that you get for doing the elite diary. And basically what that does is it gives me a chance to mine 2 ruinite ore instead of 1, which can come in handy pretty nicely. I'm also bringing the glory just because I'm so used to bringing that whenever I mine. You get the chance to get gems. It increases your chances of getting gems whenever you wear it, so I just thought I'd bring it for some extra money. Another very important thing are the expert mining gloves. Now those, it gives me a small percentage to not deplete a ruinite ore, or ruinite rock, I'm sorry, whenever I mine it. So you can actually get multiple ruin ores from 1 rock, which is pretty cool because it actually stacks with the Varrock plate body. Now as for the exact numbers, the expert mining gloves give me a 12.5% chance to not deplete a rock that I am mining. And then the Varrock armor 4 gives me a 10% chance of mining 2 ores instead of 1. So with our new crystal pickaxe, expert gloves, Varrock armor, and access to the total level worlds, we should be making a lot more money than what the wiki says. And of course we are mining in Prifddinas, so there is more money to be made there. Now unfortunately, ruin rocks do have a very long respawn timer of 12 minutes, so you won't be able to stay in one world and simply rotate between the 4 rocks. I mean, I suppose you could if it takes you that long to mine a rock, but if that's the case then you're probably not going to make very much money. Now for once I actually decided to use the skill total worlds, because normally those are actually more packed, it seems like, whenever I need them for a certain task. But in this case we definitely needed them because I scouted out a lot of these worlds, and almost every world that I went to that wasn't a skill total world did not have any ruin rocks in that world. They had all been mined previously. So I arranged the world hopper to go in descending order from, of course, the highest skill total, which is 2200, and I simply made my way down the list and mined all the ruin rocks that I could get my hands on. And even with these skill total worlds, there was still a whole lot of competition. I tried to stay away from mining people's rocks because I figured if they were already on it, that they were more likely to mine it before I was, so I kind of kept to myself. But even by doing that, some people would come and try and take my rock, and most of the time I ended up winning. I'm assuming because it's of my mining level and all the gear that I brought, but I did lose a couple ruin rocks to somebody with a ruin pickaxe, so the game is still all RNG. It doesn't really matter what gear you have, anything can happen. As far as using the special attack on the crystal pickaxe, I usually save that for when people try to take my rock, just so I could have a small little boost over them and hopefully get the ruin rock. Not too sure if it actually helped, but it was always nice seeing my mining level be over 100. Now through this 1 hour you'll see me get a whole bunch of gems, and again that is because I brought an Amulet of Glory. Now I wasn't too sure if I wanted to bring that because I honestly didn't know if I wanted the gems crowding my inventory, but I figured that since there was a bank here, there really wasn't a problem to having it. I mean, it was just a little extra more money. I mean, you could argue that it's taking up spaces where ruin ore could go, but again, since the bank is so close by, I didn't see it as a problem. Now, I did notice that once I got into my groove of hopping worlds, that there was less and less people in all the worlds that I was going to, especially the higher skill total ones, and I think maybe it had to do with me actually being there and mining it. Maybe I was taking the rocks from them and they just decided to give up for the day, but again, for the second half of the video, it was actually much smoother and much faster. I had a bunch of ruin rocks all to myself, and I knew that every single time that I would hop to that 2200 and start the rotation again, that I would have a nice set of 4 ruin rocks waiting for me. And I think the only thing nicer than seeing 4 ruin rocks untouched is probably seeing yourself mine 2 ruinite ore and having the rock not be depleted. I gotta say, if you're gonna do this method, expert gloves and the Varrock armor are almost, I'd say it's almost needed just to enjoy yourself. And I could be wrong, but I think you might not even need expert gloves. I think superior mining gloves will also do the trick. Now, those gloves I got from turning in minerals at the mining guild, and I think I got most of my minerals while I was power mining iron and while I was mining amethyst. So yeah, I'd say overall this moneymaker was very relaxing. It wasn't too crazy. Again, there was a lot of competition in the beginning, but I mean, it's really not a big deal. You can just hop worlds and, find a ruin rock. Hopefully not all of them are taken. As far as money goes, we did make a nice amount of money, which I will show in a little bit, but I think there's other things out there that you can make more money doing and probably even have less requirements, because even though we made a decent amount of money here, we do have 99 mining along with the gloves, the armor, and of course the lovely 2200 skill total worlds. With all that being said, we are approaching the end of the 1 hour, and I gotta say, this was pretty surreal mining ruinite ore for money, because as a kid that's all I ever wanted to do. I wanted to get my mining level up so I could mine these precious ruin rocks, but of course I never reached that mining level. It was way too high for me. But we are done with our mining adventure, and we finished with 99 pieces of ruinite ore. Not bad. Valued just over 1 million. We also got a few gems thanks to our Amulet of Glory. We got 9 sapphires, 4 emeralds, and 3 rubies. So adds the price check up to about almost 1.1 mil. So not bad after 1 hour. And now to sell off the loot that we got, and luckily the market price is actually lower than what the actively traded price is, so we can just throw them in there and they will sell instantly, along with the gems except for the emeralds. The emeralds we did have to lower down a little bit, but since it was such a small amount of money, I just decided to insta-sell it and take a small loss on it, but not too big of a deal. But after selling the emeralds, all the other gems, and the runite ore, we have a grand total of 1.92 mil from 1 hour of mining rocks in the Prifddinas mines. Now, luckily this moneymaker wasn't something that we had to spend money on, well, except for the crystal tool seed, but that was completely optional. As far as everything else, you really don't need to spend any money on here, so there's really no supplies to subtract from our profit. So what you saw there was the amount of money that we walked away with after 1 hour of mining these ruin rocks. But if you really want to, you can subtract the 300k that I spent on the crystal tool seed. I'm not going to though, because again, you can dismantle it and get the tool seed back and sell it. Of course, you would be losing the crystal shards, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. And with that being said, we can go ahead now and compare the OSRS Wiki profits with how much we made. And again, you're going to make different amounts based on what gear you bring and what location you choose to mine in. But with the gear that we brought and the Prifddinas location, we made over a mil, which is pretty nice. And we also managed to get 12.7k mining XP. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, guys, and I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving it. I love getting all the comments, suggesting new ideas for new videos, and I already have so many backed up that I'm going to work through and make videos on, but that doesn't mean that I want you to stop sending them in. So go ahead and leave a comment on what moneymaker you want to see from the OSRS Wiki, and I will get to it ASAP. I hope you guys had a great New Year's, and honestly, I can't wait to see what this year has in store for us. I did actually get the beaver pet on New Year's Day. It was in Twisted League, but I'll still take that as a good sign that this is going to be a good year for RuneScape. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next video.